Howdy DC On Screen fans, how would you like a piece of original artwork from one of us here at DC On Screen?
Alright, we're aware that you've never thought of that before, but here's the deal. We need your help. Because the internet is a giant monster that requires numbers and regular feeding times. And then these algorithm things that are like our personal demons that we can't defeat alone. Do the right thing. Go over to iTunes. Give us a 5-star review or a more honest review if you feel absolutely led to. And then email us at dconscreen@gmail.com. What we're going to need you to do is just write in an address. Tell us who you are. Give us whatever address you want us to send you something at. You know, if you don't want us to know where you live, send it to your neighbors and go steal his mail, whatever.
Yeah.
Just give us that, and then we need you to write Dave or Jason, and then we need you to write the name of a character. We're going to send you a piece of artwork. All I can say about it is that one of us is a good artist and one of us is not. If you've actually been listening to every episode, you might know the secret answer to that, to who you should really ask. But hey, or toss a coin.
Man, you know, once you get the picture from us, take a picture of it or scan it or something. Send it back to us, and we'll put it on Facebook, just like we do with your DC loot.
Yeah. Send it back with, like, critiques if you want to. We don't give a fuck, you know. Draw over it, you know, pull a Deadpool. Right? Whatever.
One of us might cry.
We'll both probably cry. But whatever. Point is, you know, it's come that time. It's the classic call to action. We need to get out there. We need to get a little bit of the review game going. And this is our humble offering.
Yeah, humble offering. Very humble. I couldn't say it any better myself, man. That was a good pitch.
Oh, thank you.
All right, with that said, settle in for a new episode of DC On Screen. Welcome in to DC On Screen. I'm your host, David C. Robertson. This is my co-host, Jason.
Hi!
And we are going to get super spoilery on The Flash. Welcome to Earth-2.
Woo!
Man, this episode was so good.
It was worth a woo.
Oh, it it definitely was worth a woo.
Many woos. Hey, before we
I'd give
get
a John
to the episode itself, yeah. Have I mentioned before that I love that Flash keeps changing its credits? It's previously on or its opening montage?
Mm.
It bothers changing that. And that's just such a nice touch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I noticed this week they had Tar Pit in there, and I went,
right.
Oh.
Like, there are little subtle changes here and there, but, I mean, you know, on this one alone, it was like Vandal Savage, Tar Pit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, again, look at you, you know.
Look at you all spiffy, employing editors.
Right.
So, guys, this episode, you know, Barry and Cisco, they've gone over to Earth-2, and it is awesome. And we get to see all the Earth-2 things, or a lot of the Earth-2 things anyway. One thing that was kind of annoying, though, is like, what is Harry really gonna like give Jesse all those recordings and be like, here, listen to these?
Which one are you talking about?
Because he's talking to Jesse. Harry is talking to Jesse, and I'm assuming he's recording something. Either that, or he's just crazy as hell. And he's just walking around talking about working with Zoom to get her back. He's like, I'm gonna get you back, Jesse. Blah blah blah. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, are you recording something? Are you going to give this to Jesse? Like, he's very clearly, it's not even a voiceover.
No, he's been doing that on his watch. He's been keeping, like, the classic scientific log of blah, blah, blah. I don't know what he's doing with that. I really don't know. And that's that's one of those things that I've never been able to tell if that's like a TV trope or if people actually do that somewhere. But, man.
I'll tell you this, it makes me real worried for Harry Wells. It makes me feel like he's going to die and she's going to have those recordings. And that's how we're going to keep him on the show to some degree, is we're going to hear her listening to them.
I got to admit, though, if it came down to like leaving Tom Cavanaugh, period, or having just the voice, I'll take just the voice even. I don't care.
I'd take just the voice, but showrunners, we love Tom Cavanaugh.
Yeah.
Please don't get rid of him.
Yeah, we do.
If he's about to go do something else, pay him more money.
We'll start our own little like Kickstarter for keeping him.
Yeah, you know what? I would do I'll watch a whole show with just him. Just, my name is Harrison Wells.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, come on, guys. Anyway,
You want to get to the
Yeah.
you want to get to the first giant thing that made you go, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god."
well, I will. Okay, well, first of all, I will say that I was very pleased, and Scott Madison echoed this. I was very pleased that they went ahead and got done with 50 portals. They closed 50 portals before the title card sequence. Man.
That was pretty good. We had suspicions that they would kind of like. Well, we were talking earlier about we want them to whittle it down to like one door in or out, so they at least then they could control and gatekeep. But I gotta admit, I thought it would take them a couple episodes. I thought they'd just kind of leave that hanging out in the background, like, yeah, we got rid of another dozen. Not like, yep, we mass produced 50 of these bitches and drove around town all night.
Right.
Man, I need a coffee.
So yeah, Scott tells us, he says some showrunners would make an undertaking like that a full season.
Right, like the undertaking.
And you know what? He is absolutely correct.
Yes.
If you have convinced yourself that that's not the case, you have not watched nearly enough television in your life, or maybe you've just really done a good job in your life of not watching TV. And
I'm just like
that
only
might be a
watching
good thing.
shows
I don't know.
that move real fast, but no,
Yeah.
man. I mean, it can.
Did you start watching TV when 24 came out and everything changed?
Right. Nah, dude. They absolutely would have dragged that on for forever, just forever
They
and ever
would've.
and ever. Wouldn't have mattered back in the day either. Like it wasn't. It's only been. I mean, it's not like we're not talking the last 5 years here. I'd like to guess 20 off the top of my head, maybe the last couple decades. But yeah, TV didn't have to move for a long time. It could just hang out in this weird, fluid, atemporal, like multi-camera nightmare as long as it wanted to, until people stopped wanting to watch the funny guy's punchline. Mm-hmm. And then you finally had to cancel the show and pick up another couple of guys. Mm-hmm. Like you'd have one very special episode every couple of years, and you'd be remembered for it for a long time.
Absolutely.
Still remember Jesse with the caffeine pills, for fuck's sake.
Oh, that's good. That's a good callback.
Thank you. Anyway, I want to get to the thing. I want to get to jumping through.
Okay, so don't get distracted.
I'll
with
try.
what you see. Don't get distracted with what you see. Where are we going to see? Everything.
I looked right before that over there. Cisco's just over there smacking his lips. Everyone, is anyone else real thirsty? He's so wonderfully, cutely nervous, man. It's great, and he really is. He's the best adjusted character on this show because as nervous as he is, he also is like giving Caitlin that no, seriously, if I don't make it back, and staring down the barrel of this thing anyway. He's a brave little dude.
He is. So, what do we see when they start to pass through the speed cannon on their way to Earth-2?
Number one. You want to do it? You want me to do it?
Conor Hawke
There we
Green
go.
Arrow. That's right.
He looks good. He looks real good. I like
It
it.
took me a minute to figure out what he was. Because I was staring at him, and I kept seeing, like, this, like... It looked weird. I don't know how I was looking at it, but it looked real weird. And then I went, oh, that's a face. Oh, that's... that's a non-Ollie Green Arrow. Oh, I bet that's Conor Hawke.
I actually did the opposite, though, with the last one. I was like, that is a weird face. Oh, that's an object. That's an object.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But the second thing that we saw... Mm-hmm. John Wesley Shipp Flash, bitches. Yeah. I was so excited to see that. I was like,
yeah.
Did I just see that?
Now, we don't know what that means for our theory.
I don't, like, you and Scott Madison have both, like, talked about how, like, this damages our Zoom theory.
I have not necessarily said it damages it. I just say we don't know what it means for it. We know that it's still in play because they said everything is possible. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean, though, that, like, even if Shipp's 90s Flash or whatever we're going to call him, if 90s Flash is just another timeline or another Earth, that doesn't mean he still can't be Zoom right now. Like, right this damn second that he couldn't be Zoom.
Right.
That could be E3. That's all that would have to be is like E3 or 4 or whatever the hell it's going to be that's not Supergirl's world. And, yeah, it's all still in play.
Yeah.
And
I'm just saying, I don't have a Zoom theory, per se. I've just listened to yours and Scott's Zoom theory, and I went, maybe. I have Zoom hopes.
That's all anyone
really
has
theory.
right now is, maybe. They really have done a great job with keeping this under wraps and throwing us just enough, like, chum to really stir the waters. I mean, man, good stuff.
Yeah, James Hewings on our Facebook page says, looks like Zoom will be unmasked in the next 2 episodes. I looked at that. I looked at that teaser, and yeah, so much.
I think it was like Comic Book Resources, I want to say. I sent you an article on this earlier, but yeah, the EPs were talking about it, and they've already discussed. They said a few things.
I knew I meant to read something else before we started this.
I can't remember the name of the producers. I've said before that I'm bad
Kreisberg,
at citing.
Berlanti,
No, it wasn't any
Berlanti,
of the big, any of the big guys. That's why I can't name them. It was some of the regular, no extra adjective in front of their name producers. But they said that you're going to see his identity unravel over the next couple episodes, and that this one was relevant to what you're about to see happening. And the big one was we can just table the topic for now, but the guy in the mask at the end of the episode is relevant. He is absolutely relevant to what's about to happen in the next couple episodes. Not just some creepy dude in the background.
Yeah, we'll talk about that dude here in a few minutes. So
Number
the next
3.
thing up, man, Supergirl. We see Supergirl.
They even brought in her music, her melody. Did you hear
it? I did.
I was so pleased with that.
I mean, I heard it in pieces because I had to keep going back and looking at John Wesley Shipp Flash and going, yay!
Well, I did. I stopped to watch it the first time, just full through, just so I could really geek out about it, and then came back and went, all right, well, that is going to require some freeze framing. Let's go back. Guys, she's in the show now officially. I mean,
yeah, man,
it's done.
It's happening.
It's done.
It's all happening.
And as nervous as I was, I'm just excited now.
We got 2 at the same time. We got John Wesley Shipp Flash and Supergirl. They are just, the showrunners on The Flash are just bound and damn determined to make The Flash my favorite everything.
They're doing a really good job.
Even with the issues that I have on this show, which there are a few in this episode, man, there's kind of not a whole lot that I'm not excited about on this show.
Just so little.
Just so next
very
up,
little.
Next up, let's just let's kind of blow through these real quick. We see Gorilla Grodd. We knew we were going to get more of him. That's not really a big thing.
No, I mean it's nice to see him again. Always is.
Jonah Hex. We saw Jonah Hex. If you're familiar, if you keep up with the news at all, or listen to our news episodes, if not, why the hell aren't you? God,
that's where the real fun happens.
But you know that Jonah Hex is coming to Legends of Tomorrow, and we've already heard that the Legion might be showing up on Legends of Tomorrow, which makes total sense. And we saw a Legion flight ring. That's the last object that they see inside the. I'm going to call it a time tunnel. I guess I don't know if that's what the wormhole, whatever you want to call it.
I was thinking of it as like an inner space. Got a little hiccup there. Sorry.
Yeah, I go Star Trek on it. Wormhole. So shit looks like the wormhole in DS9 when they're going to the Gamma Quadrant. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. Quantum tunneling, I guess I'll describe it. Say though, Hex's face looks good. I mean, it looks terrible, but it's supposed to look terrible, so it looks good.
I could have dealt with a little more eyeball.
That's the one thing I think is missing. Absolutely, and I went back and looked at the a couple of stills from the movie, that egregious movie that was unfortunately made. And yeah, they made the same mistake there. They got the little tendrils of flesh right. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it doesn't take a lot of effort to put in like a white translucent, glaucoma looking. Just kind of, that's all I want out of it. Just that glaucoma look in one eye.
I just want two-faced cowboy. That's what I want. Yeah,
but he still looks really good. They got the face right. I'll take that. I'm not going to hold out too much pain over an eyeball. But then, the Legionnaire ring is the one where I was I looked at it several times. Like, is that like a hooded character? What's on his face? Oh, that's an object. Yeah. That's not a man.
So I loved Barry and Cisco's reactions to Henry Hewitt.
Which is pretty much
They're so dumb. Yeah. They're so stupid. Like Cisco, look at his face is just freeze framed, like in heart attack mode, staring at this dude.
Right.
I'm like, oh Lord, man, come on. You were just so brave. Loved Mayor Snart. That made me laugh so hard. I want to see Wentworth Miller as the mayor in Earth-2. Yep. I just do.
I'm
wanna
glad
see
he's
it.
there doing that now. Like that's.
I would so love to see that. Well, citizens. Just like
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I would love to see Citizen Cold. Let's just do Citizen Cold, y'all.
Right?
Like, please.
Oh, something I meant to ask if you had noticed or if I just have seen it wrong. They show a full shot of Star Labs, right?
They do.
It doesn't look to be blown up.
No, it's not.
So there was no accelerator explosion in Earth-2.
But there was.
So they just rebuilt it?
There was. I guess so.
So that,
because Jay even mentions it in this episode, that the particle accelerator turned him into the Flash in that universe.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Well.
But I'm confused about what happened to Star Labs afterwards. Because Star Labs in Earth-1 still looks like shit. Like, a third of it looks like it was caved in. But the whole city turned on Harrison. So he lost all of his funding. He couldn't get anything done anymore. And that's why you couldn't rebuild Star Labs.
Yeah.
And, apparently in Earth-2, everyone forgave him.
I felt like he had more pull. Yeah, I felt like he had a lot more pull. He was considered more of a Steve Jobs or something, or
it seems.
Stephen
It
Hawking
does seem like he has a lot more
of
of an engaging public persona as opposed to before. He was just a really great scientist, almost like a quiet kind of Palmer-esque scientist that doesn't really.
Yeah,
the book's Palmer-esque, not the show's Palmer-esque. The big difference.
Right.
That's actually the difference I'm talking about, though.
In Earth-2, he was actually Harrison Wells.
Yeah.
In Earth-1, he was supposed to be Harrison Wells, and he wound up being Eobard Thawne, who's kind of a
probably kept
dickhead.
it DL. Yeah. No, well, I mean, he wasn't a dickhead publicly in the first part of that show. And like season 1, with the shots they show us before the explosion, he doesn't look to be that big of an ass. He's just a lot quieter.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe this Earth-2 was just so charismatic. They're like, I'm sorry you blew up half the city. Here's some more money anyway. Get your building fixed.
Well, I don't know how much it. He did create metas over there too with that, but I don't know.
But he created the meta tracker, which made everyone feel better, so they gave him their money back.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously has been under some fire over there.
Sure. Most notably from Garrick, apparently, based on their standoff early in the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Scott Madison says to us, Barry and Iris are married. Could that mean the future newspaper article from Earth-2 was from Earth-2 instead of Earth-1? Freeing the Earth-1 characters from a predestination marriage plotline.
I believe it is. Personally.
It could. I think it could be, but Reverse Flash was the one who had that newspaper. I think it's just still a possible future.
Well, I see
if Legends of Tomorrow has taught us anything, it's that the future can be changed.
Uh-huh.
So it could very well be Earth-1. We don't have to have... There's no predestination in the show. Like, there's time will fight back, and there's certain fixed points that can't be changed. But I think, they've been willy-nilly on whether or not we're actually going to... Whether or not Iris and Barry are fixed point shit. Because I think their timeline could definitely be changed.
Easily.
And, yeah, I think it still could.
Well, in that sense, describing any of it as predestination is probably a little less fluid than it needs to be.
Well, plus in Earth-2, Barry didn't become the Flash.
That's the big question I have about the newspaper article is...
And in the newspaper, Barry was the Flash.
Barry was the Flash. It's clearly him.
And he was also married to Iris.
But yeah.
And also, Iris was writing. Iris was a reporter. She stopped writing in Earth-2. So I'm going to go ahead and guess, no, it's still from Earth-1.
Yeah, I will. I'll go with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
I will. But
good try, Scott.
Well, I was digging it, but as you describe it, I agree. I do also agree though that if we take that as the Earth-1, you have to take predestination out with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's too in Legends they finally that's the best explanation. It's the happiest reason I have, or the best reason I have to be happy about Legends being around is they got us a good explanation for time travel. It's like cement hardening. That's all I need. One stupid, goofy little metaphor, and you can move on with your time travel theories.
Yeah, that kind of stuff got me through 7 years of Next Generation, man.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. But, yeah. I enjoyed seeing Deadshot as Iris's.
And I don't know if we had talked about it. I don't remember there being any news dropped about that. He just showed up.
No, that was a surprise.
I just saw him and went, "Oh, this is delightful."
It was delightful.
And it was.
And he's dead shut because he can't hit anything.
Right. He's all excited because my marksmanship went up 2 points last month. 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
Like Iris is condescendingly like, yeah, you go get him.
Yeah.
It's delightful.
Can we talk about what's on Earth-2 Barry's speed dial?
So hard. But real quick, Earth-1 Barry alone, man, does he not kind of remind you of like episode 1 Real Barry? So awkward, and he just could not be happier to meet Harrison Wells. I'm just like, I feel like I've seen this before.
Kind of a lot, but I suspect we'll get more of this in the second episode, Escape from Earth-2.
That's actually something the producers in the same article that I sent you that you apparently forgot about mentioned, was Earth-2 Barry is going to have his own thing going on for a second.
Okay,
and
good.
it will open some doors for him, they said.
Interesting.
Which may get us back to me not necessarily agreeing with your conclusion that is an Earth-1 newspaper.
Okay.
That one will need to be that will need to be tabled for a couple episodes, I think.
Tasty.
Scott, we'll get back to you, buddy.
Yeah, we will. Oh, this is a good show. Not our show, but The Flash.
Oh, there's your free and just society.
Yeah.
Big old whatever that is, giant concrete-ish thingy. I don't know what you call this. Thing on the wall.
Whatever.
Anyway, his phone. You wanted to do his phone.
Thing on the wall. Yeah, his phone. Okay, speed dial number 1, Dad. Speed dial number 2, Mom and Dad, which I thought was weird.
Nope, that one makes sense. That one makes absolute sense. Dad is Jesse. Mom and Dad is his parents. They live in the same house.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
They're good.
All right.
They're good to go on that one.
I forgot about them living together.
Also, and this is going to be relevant when we're wondering about who Zoom is, his dad is still alive, well, and not divorced. That is Mom and Dad, and they have been recently traveling to Atlantis, apparently.
Yeah, awesome.
Awesome.
So bloody awesome.
But
number 3 on the speed dial is Eddie. I'm guessing Thawne?
You got to guess Thawne, right? I saw some people I saw a couple of internet guesses that seemed way too... Dude, Occam's razor. Eddie. Probably Eddie Thawne.
Yeah. I saw a guy on the internet that was like, it's Eddie Brock, Venom! And someone was like, that's Spider-Man, asshole.
The next one's Bruce Banner. No, it's not.
Yeah. The next one is Bruce. I am assuming... Bruce. The next 3 are Bruce, Hal, and Diana.
How are those not Bruce Wayne?
How are those
Hal Jordan?
Not Bruce Wayne, Hal Jordan, and Diana Prince?
Right. And, dude...
I mean, he's not the Flash, so...
I am absolutely sure that this is just Kreisberg and co. fucking with us, but I don't care.
Yeah, they're not...
I was in the mood. They brought lube and alcohol to the table, and they can fuck with me all they want.
There's no part of that description that makes me at all comfortable.
Then I did my job correctly.
Okay.
You take your time to recover. I'm going to keep enjoying this phone call that Barry makes. Which was, oh my God, the heartstrings.
Oh, yeah,
the heartstrings.
Was rough.
It was so nice, though. It was so nice for him. And, God, Gustin did a great job with it.
Yeah. I kind of wanted his mom to just call him back and be like, are you okay? Why are you sobbing?
Right?
I'm okay, Mom.
Just a few hours ago, you looked so controlled on the news. I was just talking to some bridge people saying, oh, look, there's my brave baby boy. And then you call me all sobby. What's going on, Bad News Bears?
But, yeah, I hate to say it. I do. But if they pull the Barry gets to talk to his mom again card more than once more, it's going to really lose anything. It's going to lose everything it has.
No, to me,
let's just not ever do that again.
This is, and I'm going to take Scott's exact words, pitch perfect. That's what this is.
So far, yes.
It's a phone call. It's not an overplayed. They didn't even, they brought her back vocally. They didn't bring both of them back. It wasn't some giant scene with all 3 of them standing in a room and a bunch of hugs and weird moments. It's just Grant Gustin on the other end of a phone crying his dick off, and it's fucking wonderful. And God, he looks so like you can't help but feel for the kid, and he just has to go right back to being strong. And I was just thinking about something. They nailed it, absolutely nailed it, and they need to freaking leave it alone at that point, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is perfect. Let's never do it again.
Right.
Like,
I mean, I'll give it this. I'll see you next season. If you come up with a good enough reason, maybe I'll tell you next season. But as is...
But every season, every reason for every season dilutes the first and dilutes the second.
It does.
And just, man, you got to stop talking to the mom.
It does. I'd be okay with it
gotta.
if they never did it again. I would think they did an absolutely wonderful job with it. Because
we've got to see it at least one more time.
Like, we watched her die all season 1, and then we got to really see it in the season finale, and then we get a little recap here, and cannot be done better. Just there's nothing that can improve what they've done with his mom so far.
Yeah, if we do still have to have Future Barry fighting Reverse Flash in the past and looking over and shaking his head at past Barry.
That part we know about, and that's fine. That's rote. I mean that we know that's coming. And it doesn't even have to be a big feels scene. There's any number of ways they can play that, but they already have it in their programming, so go for it.
Let's see. Killer Frost says, my favorite thing is to kill people from other Earths. Plural. Scott actually pointed this out to us as well, and yeah, I noticed that too. By the way,
really paving the way
Killer
for Supergirl here.
Killer Frost was not good.
No, that was the most disappointing thing in this episode, I think, easily.
Yeah.
She
overplayed
way
it, man.
over the top.
And you guys, long-time listeners will know that I dote on Danielle Panabaker. I dote on her. I love her.
She's delectable.
If she's not on the show, I go, the episode needed more Caitlin Snow. Just...
and we've also been just beside ourselves with hope for what Killer Frost would come out being, but it ended up being this show's Livewire.
It did. I mean, not so bad as that, but
closest thing they've got so far.
You know what I think it was?
It's the low bar for female villains so far.
No, that's still Livewire, but
it's a different Earth, I guess now.
Look, I think what happened is they built it up so much that she was going to be Killer Frost at some point that when she actually got the chance, because she's been talking about how she's looking forward to this.
Yeah.
I think when she actually got the chance, I think maybe she overplayed the hand a little bit.
That's what I feel like happened, probably.
She got excited, overplayed the hand.
Here's my out for her. Here's my hope. Because everybody dead now. So maybe when she comes back... I wouldn't mind seeing Killer Frost again, but I want to see a way subdued Killer Frost. And now that everyone she in her little evil head cared about is dead, maybe she does come back subdued. Maybe she comes back with just kind of playing it pretty straight. I mean, you can pretty much turn anything to ice and then use it as a projectile if you want. Like, just you're kind of a cool cat. Just let that ride. You don't have to. I mean, the first line in is "Thanks a million." Or should I say 2 million?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it made me want to burn my ears off.
But, I'll say this. She wasn't as bad as Geomancer.
No, I officially nominate Geomancer as the worst villain in all of the Flareoverse. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion passes. That is the worst thing I have seen in all of Berlanti's shows. All of them. Let me give you an example of how deeply I mean this. I watched every single fucking episode of Warehouse 13. Every one of them. And every single one of them was better than Geomancer.
Geomancer was bad.
It was so
bad.
It was so bad. I have never been less pleased with Joe's choice of shooting body mass. Right through the jaw, buddy.
Yeah, even Scott said sad to see Joe not take the headshot on Geomancer.
Yep. Laughed when I saw that one. I was thinking, yes, thank you, Scott.
Yeah, I did too. I thought about that too when he didn't shoot him in the head. I was like, why?
Also, why does no one chase him? Like, it's one of the worst. Again, as much as we love the show, come on now.
My fear is that he'll be back. My fear is that.
Oh, he absolutely will be back. I guarantee you that. Because he's still out there. Because they let him run away.
Yeah.
Because apparently all the cops on the CCPD just hang back and let Joe deal with something. And then no one bothers to actually pursue when that person runs away.
Well, naturally. They're scared of him. He's a meta. He has shaky things. He's like Quake, but not on S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
He's over here now. He has goggles and a penis.
Right.
And really bad dialogue. Oh, wait, that's still the same.
He's a penis, and also the thing in his pants, presumably. Oh man, the goggles were terrible. Dialogue was the worst. The dialogue was worse than Killer Frost's. And
it was really bad.
Like even just this, and here's the point where you can enjoy the crap out of a show and not look at something because you're enjoying it so much. Mm-hmm. And then there are moments where the show gets bad enough that you start to realize, like, wait a second, that's really bad staging. Oh my God, this was a really badly staged and blocked scene. And I only get to step down and look at that stuff when I'm not enjoying myself, which happens so rarely on The Flash that it like stands out like a sore thumb. So
it does.
Yeah, that scene had terrible staging, terrible blocking, terrible dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Not even Joe could save it.
Not even Joe. Not even two Joes.
Not even two Joes. By the way, Joe can
Not
sing.
Not even two Joes with a death scene.
One of which is a crooner at Jitterbugs of all places.
Yeah. I like that they changed it from CC Jitters to Jitterbugs.
That was
fun.
That was good.
I love that it's like a 1920s 2016 over there. I do. I just really love it. Like, I love all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
The noir look is wonderful. The cars looked great.
Which totally again.
I'm not a car guy, but I might have been if I was raised in the 30s.
You know, makes me think that we very well could be like, I don't know, like an offshoot of, or it could have been, I guess. It can't be, but it could have been an offshoot of the John Wesley Shipp universe. And I wanted to bring up one line real quick out of Killer Frost that wasn't worth tossing in the trash. Other than the Earth thing. Doesn't she say when she's responding to Deathstorm's completely obvious, "Watch it, babe, he's a speedster." No fucking shit, buddy. Doesn't she say, "I've always wanted to kill the Flash"? Yes.
So she knows about the Flash?
Yes.
But we're on Earth-2 where Barry Allen isn't the Flash yet.
I'm assuming she was thinking about Jay Garrick.
Was it just Jay Garrick?
I'm assuming she was thinking about Jay Garrick, yeah.
Okay.
Because he was called the Flash.
I'm just wondering how otherworldly she apparently is. Like, is she just familiar with, like, oh, there's tons of Flashes, I want to get me one? Or, she probably is just thinking about Jay Garrick and that.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, awesome hat trick.
They got a lot of little Flashes there, and I'm gonna get me one.
All right, I'm going back. Hat trick. Jay Garrick, you remember what I'm talking about? The one salvageable moment out of the Geomancer fight?
No, I don't remember that.
He takes his hat off and punches the he punches the back out of it. Use it as like a, I don't know, I'd call it a pulse punch or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that was good.
That was. I've always wondered what that hat was useful for and how it stayed on.
Joe was like, oh. Yeah, I don't know how it stayed on. That hasn't been answered.
It's always been a question for me with Garrick, but God, do you remember how excited we were?
I don't need that answered.
You remember just last season where we saw that hat come through the portal and went, oh no! Oh snap!
Yeah, it was very it reminded me of Rick and Morty. Like, oh snap! They did it! Oh, they did it, dog! Oh.
I don't remember I don't remember what I grabbed that was nearby, but I'm sure I grabbed it very, very tightly.
I think it was my arm.
No, you weren't there for that one.
Okay, no, I wasn't.
It was probably my poor dog. Oh my God, Story, did you see that? She's just looking at me with those terrified, trusting eyes. Please don't hurt me. I don't understand what's happening. Why do you get excited when the box makes pictures?
So,
it's only some
Velocity
pictures.
6 is killing Jay. Because he got greedy with speed.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And he's the second character to have displayed that trait. But I again, this is why they're doing such a good job of like giving us something to think about. You have they did the same trick with two people, man. I mean, they're playing the cups game with us. I don't know where the red ball is, because like they've got two potential speedsters, both of which have this like need for speed that they really can't quell. Tell me one is and one ain't, and I'll give you another reason that you're wrong, and we'll keep going back and forth all day until apparently 3 weeks from now we'll go like, oh my God, all the things we thought of were bullshit.
Yeah, I at this point hope ardently that it's not Hunter Zolomon. I've seen that guy exactly once.
Right.
And I know he looks like Jay Garrick, but I just don't give two damns.
Nah.
I just don't.
No. I go back to my height argument on him.
Cisco, in reference to Killer Frost and Deathstorm, those are some dope names, though.
Yeah. Oh, Cisco through the episode, one of the first lines of his that I just had to write down, Barry, like, stuns E2 Barry, and, whoa, have you turned into evil, you? Yes.
Doppelganger.
Yes. Oh, my God. Reverb was great, man.
Yeah. You know what? I was talking to Bethany about this last night. I was actually pretty disappointed because Reverb seemed like the shit, man. He really did. And he was like talking about like, oh, Zoom's not really in charge, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, I mean, he comes on the scene with, if you ever talk to me that way again, I'll explode your entire nervous system without breaking a sweat or something like that. And
yeah.
We're talking about Deathstorm and Killer Frost just kind of go, yes, sir.
And then, like, because he actually does allude to the fact that he's really in charge.
Well, he alludes to the fact that he's trying to get that way. I felt like it was more that he's pitching, he doesn't have to be.
It's more bravado than anything, apparently, because Zoom just shows up and just kills him.
Yeah.
From whatever. Of course, he could have vibed through that. And that whole thing might have been just a lie. He might actually be still the big bad at the end of this thing. Because if you can vibe in and out of reality, you could probably vibe while the dude's like sticking his hand through your chest.
I don't know. I mean, I wondered why he didn't fight back, because he was very clearly going to die. And, God.
He didn't even look worried, really.
No, I mean, he looked terrified. He looked like deer in headlights terrified. Just, there was probably... I mean, I swear, like, the look on his face, I thought there was probably urine precipitating down his leg at that moment.
Maybe.
He looked scared to me, but that part was a little bothersome, because I kind of thought, man, dude, your vibe, like, you're the true vibe. You're the vibe that knows what he can do. Like, fight back, dude. You're the one kind of guy who can stop a Flash. Mm-hmm. You can literally separate the spaces within which he has to move. Do it. But that's actually
why I think Reverb made me back.
Well, that's the other problem, though, is Zoom's the one kind of speedster he may not be able to beat, because Zoom doesn't even move. This is, again, going back to like the books and everything. Mm-hmm. Zoom doesn't move between spaces. Zoom moves between potential spaces, for fuck's sake. He's a quantum being if there ever was one. And we're not talking about Wally West being a quantum being in some versions. We're talking super luminoid level creature. He literally just moves between possible realms of things. I mean, not even vibe can really stop that, I don't think.
Is that how this Zoom operates?
We don't know yet.
I don't remember them saying that.
We don't know yet.
I mean, I thought, as far as I know, this Zoom is just stealing other speedsters' speed, which means that he
may just be super fast.
He would be speeding
still terrestrial.
Yeah, he would just be using the same kind of speed they use. Yeah.
He wouldn't be the quantum being that I'm describing at that point, which may be the case. They haven't actually told us, but like if you told me right now that that's why Reverb didn't bother fighting back was because he didn't really have a play against this guy, which might be true. I mean, Zoom can move so fast that if he had moved his arm, he was done. Maybe he just had to sit there and pray, just sit there and hope that he showed mercy. Maybe killing Deathstorm would be enough. He'd let him keep his crew and live to see another day. But the important thing that it does is that our vibe rather than Reverb, now has access to a pair of goggles that work on this Earth. Because I don't believe Reverb's using them any longer.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he grabs him off his body on the way out of that room.
Sure. By the way, everything between Cisco and Reverb, between Vibe and Reverb, was great. Are you Cloud City Vadering me right now? Yeah. When Barry hit Reverb and looks at Cisco and goes, "That didn't hurt you, did it?" No, why would it? I don't know.
I don't know. Things are weird, man.
Says when Vibe says to Reverb, "Look, mirror, mirror."
Yes.
I'm not coming to the dark side with you.
That was good.
Star Trek and a Star Trek reference
and a Snow White
Star Wars reference. What?
Oh, mirror, mirror. What were you?
No, mirror, mirror is a Star Trek reference.
Oh God, you're right. It is.
Mirror, mirror.
Fuck me,
yeah, mirror,
right.
mirror is alternate reality, man.
You're fucking right.
Yeah. It was a Star Trek reference followed with a Star Wars reference directly behind it. I'm not coming to the dark side with you.
No, I know. And he ran straight down the gamut. I forgot that was a Star Trek thing entirely.
Yeah.
Also,
Velocity,
bye, Robbie.
7.
Right? God, it was nice seeing you for half a second, Robbie ML.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking, when did we see Green Arrow? Oh, wait, wrong Amel. Yeah.
No. I mean, it was a big deal for a second. Like that got press.
Yeah.
Robbie Amell is going to come back.
It was one of those things. It was one of those things where I saw Robbie Amell there, and I thought, I did not realize how little I missed him until I saw him come back. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay.
I don't know. I'm good. I like the actual Ronnie. I enjoyed. He was good. He was cool. Mm-hmm. And I like the actor. I did. Like I even enjoyed Tomorrow People. But
yeah.
And I think he's about to debut on X-Files as a young agent. Something.
Yeah, I think he already has.
Is he? Okay.
He's on X-Files somewhere.
So he found something to do. He's
sure.
He's gonna be working. But
sure.
You know, Deathstorm, this isn't my favorite version of him. Like, all you did was give me some FaceTime with a face I was familiar with, and you got to see, like, him and Caitlin together again, but that's all it was an Elseworld version, and, gone. And, dude, Zoom is one hell of a boss. Like, I loved his little speech. Does that look unharmed to you? Just pointing at him.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to really fall in love with the way he moves and speaks. Because it feels slow, but what I feel like it really is that he is able to and wants to move so quickly that he's trying to estimate the speed at which he needs to talk and move in order to communicate with regular people, and is kind of getting it wrong because he's so fast he can't even get that right anymore.
Well, there's that, and I also feel like everything he does that can be seen with the human eye is very intentional, very purposeful.
Oh yeah. Well, for him, it takes a week to just move his hand down to the flash and say, does that look unharmed to you? Like that's a huge act of concentration for him to finish that thought at the speed he has to finish it. I'm so, God, Zoom is just one of my favorite right now, man. Just uber dick in the dirt creepy. I'm so happy with him. Just so fucking happy.
Yeah. All right, we gotta wrap this episode up, man. Cisco saying, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. That cracked me up.
Got it written down. It was so fun.
Always welcome a James Taylor quote, man.
Oh, yeah.
Always do.
I can handle myself.
Velocity 7. Velocity 7 killing Jay. Not killing Jay. I'm excited that they're moving toward Velocity 9.
Yeah, I was hoping they would just sit there and increase the numbers.
Cured and
and she even says, I think Velocity 8, I can get it.
Speed back. Yeah.
But that means there's only going to be 2 more attempts. So Jay will try it one more time with Velocity 8 and fail. Mm-hmm. And then the next time he tries it, whoever gets it, whatever's happening, it will work.
Yeah, that's my guess. Who is the mystery person? This guy, I think somebody, I don't remember who. Somebody said that it was that he was in a Deathstorm mask. I saw that somewhere online. I don't know if it was. Yeah, I thought it was a Doctor Doom mask. That's what it looked like to me. I know that's Marvel, so it's not a Doctor Doom mask, but that's what it looked like to me.
It actually looked like what is that little dude, Cannonball or whatever his name is, that decides to make himself like an angel of penance after the. I want to say it's after the Civil War storyline. So it's the guy dating Squirrel Girl.
Oh man, yeah.
He wears like this. I don't know.
No, you know what the mask looks like? The mask that's on Argyle, the sentient sock. It does. It looks like Argyle's friggin' mask.
I'm sure Argyle's not involved in this, but
I'm just saying it looks like Argyle's mask.
Yeah.
But if you look at the guy underneath, he's clearly like an older dude, like an older white dude.
All right, and this part's gonna get weird. I ran across as many theories as I could on that because I could not be more curious. There are people saying that it's Wally West because I'll be damned if that kind of it really does. That looks like Wally West's actual skin tone. I mean, it really might be.
It might be.
And there were other people suggesting that, like, and it is. It's shot in such a weird way that sometimes it just looks like it's a little bit dark skin, and sometimes it looks like it's kind of like just a weird yellow lighting on like Caucasian skin. But I don't know. It's almost impossible to tell from that. So we can't even guess the which kind of character we're dealing with. So all we know is some names, man. We got like Eddie 1 or 2. Those are all still on the table apparently. Because Eddie 1 got sucked through, and you never know. Like, I mean, they had pretty good medicine in Earth-2. They could have fixed him. Who knows? And at that point,
could be.
Could be around. And there are so many people that just want Eddie back on the show that they want Eddie to actually be Zoom. That's another theory hanging out there.
Eddie never affected me so much that I ever wanted to see him back.
No, I thought he had a great arc, and he was fine.
Yeah, he was fine, but I never want to see him again. If that makes any sense. Like, don't undercut the sacrifice. Just leave it be, man.
Right. And
that's a Tommy. That's a Tommy right there. Tommy Merlin. Right. Just let it be.
Just let it hang. A lot of people saying it might be Earth-2's Wally, because of all the doppelgangers we've seen, Wally is kind of conspicuously missing off that list. Mm-hmm. And it does kind of make sense. Look at his fingers in particular. That's the one that got... I don't know why. There's so little to look at on the actual freeze frame of it, but his fingers kind of look Wally-ish.
What does that mean?
It means I've seen pictures of Wally's hands, and I've seen pictures of this guy's hands, and it looks like the same kind of hand.
Oh, my Lord.
It's all I've got. It's a very slim field of pickings.
I know.
There's another theory that it might be Earth-1 Ronnie, who actually did come through, and he was one of the original.
Oh, that's a good.
He was one of the original Breachers, and Zoom wanted to trap him and study that idea.
That would be cool,
wouldn't it? And my favorite so far, if it's not Wally, who I can only say this, it looks the most like him, so that's all I can give it. But my favorite of the cuteness factor of these theories was
what's that?
Earth-1 Zoom's actual doppelganger. He didn't want anyone to be able to find someone who looked like him on any other. So he goes to Earth-1.
That's perfect.
Finds the guy who looks like him and puts a mask on him and keeps him in a jail.
And you know who looks like him? Henry Allen.
He didn't go far on his camping trip, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that would be badass, man. That'd be badass. Like every night he's going home and hanging out with Nora,
right?
And, like everything's cool. But then he finds out, like, because he was he was a scientist, right? So like he finds out that in another reality he was Barry.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome. That'd be amazing. But I swear the dude, like, the reason I don't think is Wally is because that dude looks old. Like, if you look at his neck and you look at his hands. Because you said you looked at his hands.
I thought it looked
like he had old
skin.
hands.
I thought it looked pretty taut skin.
I thought it looked pretty old. Like, especially like under the neck, like the jowly area.
I'll take another look at the jowly area. I will.
Yeah, take another look at the jowly area.
I wonder if I can get a good look. I'm going to take another look at those jowls.
Are you doing that now?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and look now. Why not?
Okay.
All right. We know he has 2 arms and a head.
Okay. Well, that's a good start.
Right.
It is.
We can rule out Merlin. I don't know. I don't know, dude. That neck could be anything. And it's too hard to tell for a lot of reasons, not the least of which is that we record this midday and I have a lot of windows in my office. So the glare effect is not helpful for this kind of thing.
I don't have any glare, so I'm going to look. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Oh, there's Barry waking up in the prison. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Who's that weirdo? Come on.
That's Jesse Quick.
I know who Jesse is.
I know.
Okay. Look at this guy. What is he doing? He's banging on the thing. That neck is thin. Yeah, he could be Wally with the skin tone. He really could be Wally, right? Oh, but look at the back. Look at the back of the head. That looks like white hair.
Wait, where are you seeing the back of the head?
That looks like... Oh, you can just see like a little bit of hair coming off the back.
Oh, all right. I won't be able to see that in my light. That looks like white hair?
Well, not white hair, but like white folk hair. Like that's like that looks like John Wesley Shipp's hair.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah. That doesn't look like...
I'll tell you, of all the things, I want it to be John Wesley Shipp.
That neck looks old.
I want it to be him.
That neck looks... That neck looks old,
dude. One
person's
person's response was like, it looked like the guy got more excited when Barry's there. Like, how the hell would you know? It's the first time we've ever met this character. And
he's on his knees. He's hitting the glass.
Somebody had a good question. Well, I say somebody. I thought of this when I was watching it, but I went down a lot of Reddit subposts to find these things, so I'm sorry. But I don't know Morse code. Is that Morse code? Mm-hmm. The tapping on the rock, was that a code of any kind? I am not qualified to answer that question.
It might be, but we don't... They don't give us enough of it.
I figured if it was anything, because it only sounds like it's probably 15 or so taps before they tune it out of the background. I figured if it's anything, it's probably like the first few letters or something.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
God.
Did they even show him again?
Every time they show Jesse, I mean, I'm just like watching this scene now. Every time they show Jesse Quick in this prison, she's just like
sobbing.
She's so terrified. She's just so scared. Even Grant looks kind of scared, but just brave. Like he
looks pissed.
He wants to spit in the guy's face. Is what he looks like he wants to do.
I don't know, man.
All right. Look, if anyone feels like we've rattled on, it was a damn good episode. I'm sorry.
It was a really good episode. So, there's
a lot to rattle about.
Kick rocks. Yeah, it's a good episode. Oh man, I look forward to the next episode. Like
yeah, Tuesday will not be here fast enough.
It will not be. We are DC on screen though, and we're going to be coming up with an Arrow review for Sins of the Father, episode 413. You can find every episode at dconscreen.com. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Stitcher or wherever podcasts are loaded or listened to. But not SoundCloud. Not that one.
Yeah, we haven't done that one yet. Not sure about that one.
Anyway, if you like a similar podcast about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, go check out our friends Matt Carroll and Jeff Randall at mcucast.com. I haven't mentioned this in a couple episodes for some reason, but we are proud members of the Giant Size Team Up Network. There's just too much. There's too much to talk about.
It's become a hell of an outro.
GiantSizeTeamUp.com. Until next time, guys, keep some DC on your screen.
Why don't more infant formula companies use organic, grass-fed whole milk instead of skim? Why don't more infant formula companies use the latest breast milk science? Why don't more infant formula companies run their own clinical trials? Why don't more infant formula companies use more of the proteins found in breast milk? Why don't more infant formula companies have their own factories instead of outsourcing their manufacturing? We wondered the same thing. So we made ByHeart, a better formula for formula. Learn more at byheart.com.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.